Hello everyone, this is Isaac and welcome to Minepro. Today's episode is going to be covering reeds, so I'm going to go ahead and walk through the basics. First of all, they're technically called sugar canes, but I'm old school so I like to call them reeds. And as you can see, reeds grow on dirt that is immediately adjacent to water. They will not grow on dirt that is away from water. And I've seen a lot of people that farm reeds like this, pretty much, just using the natural contours of the land, adding dirt on the edge. And that's not exactly efficient. So the first thing that I want to do is show you how to build an efficient reed farm. And I've farmed quite a few reeds, so I think that I know a little bit about how to do this. I'm not saying this is perfect, but it is extremely efficient. So what you want to do is dig a water trough and then line both sides with dirt. Like so. Then of course we would have more dirt here. I'm not actually going to bother filling it all in. And then you would have another row of dirt here because you'd have another water trough here, and it would progressively move over. So I'll just go ahead and put these two rows in. As I said, there really should be 4 here, but that one already existed, and this one don't really want to bother with. Now, get some buckets of water. I conveniently have some water over here. And fill in these troughs. Once you place 2 buckets, unless you place them incorrectly, there we go. You can make it into an infinite water source, but I placed those wrong. So I'll show you how to do that here. 1 there, and then get away. 1, I believe you have to put it, here? And then that works. Yep. So the other one was actually placed correctly, but yes. You don't actually have to fill the troughs in. It can be flowing water, but I don't like the sound of flowing water. So once you have your troughs of water filled, you can take any other resource, I'm just going to go and use cobble here, and build it over the water, like this. And then on top of this, you will place your torches. You can place them with whatever spacing you want. Reeds do in fact grow faster if it's a brighter area. And then you can see that along here, I can place reeds. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here on this trough. And what's ideal about this is that you can just, instead of having to, with this sort of awkward reed farm, let me demonstrate, this sort of awkward reed farm where you have to harvest them kind of gingerly and move about. As you can see, it's hardly constant efficiency, and I fell off there. Stuff like that. But if you want a more efficient system, God, that sheep is really annoying. All you have to do is use a system like this, where you can just point yourself forward and then walk straight through them. And with the troughs covering by these cobblestone barriers here, or you can use any other resource, of course, the furthest away that any of the reeds will ever fall is directly on top of here. So as long as you use a motion, like I tend to go like this, typically whenever I'm harvesting one of these farms, and that'll give you 90-something% reed harvesting pickup with very minimal effort. Now, a few other things about reeds. One use that a lot of people use them for is as a water gate. So as you can see, I have some reeds here, and if I immediately break this and let water flow in, you'll see that the reeds stop the water completely, and I can move through and I hit the water, and it is in fact here, but the reeds stop the water, and they also do the exact same thing for lava. Now, another cool use is that you can actually use the water source block glitch, which for those of you that don't know, I'll demonstrate it now. Objects placed inside water source blocks ignore their typical placement boundary rules. So for instance, you cannot place 3 chests together unless the third one is placed into a water source block. And then you can have a bizarre triple chest like this, which does lots of weird things, and that's, another video. And you can do that in any way you want, and so on. But you can abuse this glitch to make reeds forget their placement rules. Because you see, even though this is sand, which reeds typically can't be placed on, you can place reeds in it because they're in a source block. Now this has one practical use in that if you are, say, drowning underwater, as you can see I am in fact going to die, my little water bubbles are ticking down, you can place a reed on the ground and it will just, exist there. This happens to be dirt, but you don't require that. And then by placing a second reed on top of the first one, look, my water bubbles got refilled. So you can use this an infinite number of times. You do pick both the reeds back up, and you can use that to refill your air underground. One other interesting thing is that you can actually place reeds on any block without using the water source block glitch by placing them inside of a fire. As you can see, this is in fact a reed with no water around it, nothing tricky. And this reed will in fact grow up to a height of 2, but when it hits 2 it'll break, just like that did, giving you 2 reeds. Because of that, you can in fact farm reeds without water, although it is dreadfully inefficient. And lastly, I want to cover the primary use of reeds, which is of course crafting. Reeds can be crafted into sugar, which is used to make cake, and they can also be crafted into paper. You can see there's 3 paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this into 9 paper, which you can immediately make into books, and from books into bookshelves. Now bookshelves will probably see quite a bit more use than sugar because A, you don't need much sugar, and B, cake isn't really all that efficient. And bookshelves are a nice little decoration that you can build. I think I had one more thing to cover. Oh yes, reeds also stop projectiles. So, I mean, here I'm going to throw an egg at it, and you can, wow, I don't know why that first one went through, but you can see that the eggs are literally being stopped by the reed. That works for arrows, it works for any kind of projectile. It also works for Ghast's fireballs. If I come over here, you can see that in conclusion, reeds can be placed up to any height if you just place them on top of each other. So even though they don't naturally grow higher than 3, except for a glitch in some versions of the beta, you can place reeds up to any height if for some reason you want to. I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about reeds. I'll be bringing these out any time. So if you have a particular block that you'd like to request to know more about, feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like or a comment, and please subscribe. Thank you.